Welcome one and all, my name is Tawess and well, let's talk about Overwatch League, shall we? I recently got into an argument that the Overwatch League is a fail and that nobody's really watching it. Now at face value, that statement is of course false, but since we also know it's hyperbole, we know that it's more about how it's more about the people feel that Activision is just hyping and puffing itself up, building a castle in the air, so to speak. Now, at the point I had no real good answer beyond more teams brought in, indicating that it's meeting expectations at least. But I had the foresight to throw an eye at the Twitch numbers during the recent, call it this weekend stream, since most of their views come from Twitch, being a primary partner and all that. And Saturday was a good day. And at Sunday, this is sat around 140, 160,000 viewers. Sure, that is not League of Legends or Fortnite numbers, even though they for a brief second on Saturday actually surpassed Fortnite, but I think that was more of an oddity from Fortnite than anything else. It's still a good number of views, enough to entice investors and advertisers, and that last one is the important one, as the air has pretty much gone out of the YouTube bubble. The Overwatch League offers a safe and secure place to put your ads and still reach a big audience. It will cost you more, but also pretty much no risk of backlash. And trust me, companies are at this point very aware of the risk of backlash. As for League itself, well, if you like Overwatch, it's solid good fun, much like any sport. But the layout it offers is a nice and easy to read one for people who are not familiar with the game. And I said it's fun to watch. It's colorful and very visual. Unlike, say for example, CSGO, which is not very colorful or visual. Something I always felt was a problem with a lot of esports. I mean, even League of Legends and Dota, for all their grandizing plethora of heroes, characters, it's still a bit hard to follow what the heck is happening. So things look the same and it gets really hard to figure out what is going on and why. I mean, one big step they did here was the design of uniforms. It's an elegant solution to the problem that people will have about picking out who is who, and I think everyone should follow suit. I do not feel the league is in a slump, or that it's going down the slope, so to speak. The new teams open up a field, and while the 3-3 meta is a bit boring per se, it does lead to well-paced and easy-to-read matches. I mean, 3 big dudes, 3 healers. I mean, it's easy to follow. And I agree that Overwatch right now is a lot better to watch than to play, but I think there's a bit of saturation sitting in. A lot of people like myself have played the game for 2-3-ish years, and fatigue will set in, no matter how you twist it. At those times it's nice to just kick back and watch people play the game at the very peak, a level I could never, ever in my entire life reach. Isn't that pretty much why we watch all sports, to be honest? To watch people do something we enjoy at the very best of their ability to do it. I mean, anyone could take a soccer ball, a football, take it outside and kick the shit around. But that does not mean that you're Champions League material. Same here. I'm not Overwatch League material. I still enjoy watching it. And the fact that it's so visual, I think, is how you can sell it to people outside this narrow circle of gaming. I mean, gaming has this problem that it's not real. But, I mean, come on. Times are changing. Now, for the game itself, it would be nice to see a meta shift and some more wild and crazy picks. I mean, we have seen a few, and the fact that the meta is so stable makes the times when someone actually breaks out of the mold even more exciting, like a crazy wrecking ball or a sneaky Torbjorn. And it'd be interesting to see what the new hero Baptiste will do. For me, Overwatch League is just a crazy experiment, to be honest, a wild stab at trying to advance what esport is, and as far as it seems to be going, it's going fairly well. But when people are involved, there will always be emotions, and as such there will always be people who think that Blizzard and their new play at esport is just wasting time and money. But in my mind, they fail to see the bigger picture. That is, that every and all different steps of esport are important to form the future of the sport itself. It's an old duckling, as it is Well, without a lot of exposure, people will not really understand what it's all about. The Overwatch League, per se, is good for all esport even if you don't like the game. Because they're proving that you can actually put together something that at least resembles ordinary sport. With teams and leagues and things. And I know people have done teams and leagues and such before, but it's been more obscure. This ties it to cities, to local pride, to pub brawls. I mean, that's important. Because if you can't get people to be locally invested in something, then how are you going to get them to be invested at all? I think that more esport will have to do this whole local connection thing. If you want to sell it to people outside the gaming circle, I think it's important to sell it outside people in the gaming circle because we are a limited crowd. We are a limited audience. Now, to wrap things up, if you haven't watched Overwatch League, take a stab at it. It is a really fun experience, and while you might be confused as heck to begin with, it seeps in after a while. You get the grip on what's happening, and you might even actually enjoy it. But if you don't, that's okay too. I understand that. I think it is probably the best stab at making a, let's say, almost a casual friendly, a average viewer friendly esport. And you know what? That in itself is worth something. But that is also going to be all for today. I hope that you had a nice day and that you had a nice evening and you will have a nice tomorrow. Until next time, stay safe, be kind and play fair. Bye!